Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of POVincent, and today I'm reviewing Hugh Jackman's last ride as Wolverine in Logan. So, for the past, what is it now, 18 years, we've been following Hugh Jackman in the X-Men franchise as everyone's favorite X-Man, Logan, or as probably more people know him, Wolverine. And this is going to be his last film. And for this one, they're basing it off the very famous comic series, or graphic novel, I guess I should say, Old Man Logan. And it's really loosely based off Old Man Logan, and by that I mean, and this is really not a spoiler, he's not going to fight Hillbilly Hulk, and there isn't going to be Venom Rex. So in this film, we're not too far into the future, and Logan, well, time has caught up to him. He is now aged. His healing factor isn't working like it used to. In fact, it's barely working. He's taking care of an ailing Professor X who seems to be suffering from some kind of mental illness, and his powers are on the whack. And he's just trying to get by, just trying to keep the professor going, until this little girl falls into their lap, and it turns out that she's Logan's daughter, which sends Logan on a journey where he's trying to find, well, purpose again. Hugh Jackman once again puts in a good performance as Wolverine, and this one he really kicks it up a bit. It's Wolverine at the end of his life. All the mutants in the world have died out. The X-Men are gone. It's just him and Professor X, and well, he's kind of lost his way again. And that's the thing about the character of Wolverine. You know, he needs that group of friends and family to keep him stable. Otherwise, well, he kind of doesn't give a crap and he just does what he needs to survive. In this movie, he's trying to be a caretaker to Professor X, because as I said, Professor X has some kind of mental illness and now he can barely control his psychic abilities. And he's just had enough of everything. He's fed up with the world. He all he cares is about keeping Professor X alive and just doing whatever else he needs to do. And it's hard on him because now they are the only mutants left, and the X-Men are gone, and they don't really say what happens to the team until later in the film. And I won't say so because I don't want to spoil it. But it was just awesome to see Hugh Jackman do his thing and do it as a Wolverine who's not in his tip-top condition and still put in a very great performance. Another great performance in this film comes from Sir Patrick Stewart. He's been doing Professor X just as long as Hugh Jackman's been doing Wolverine. And in this movie, things are a little different with Professor X. Because of his failing mental state, he's a little different. And he knows that he's not that well, but he's also kind of playing a grumpy father to Hugh Jackman's Logan. And that's kind of the relationship they have in this film. He's kind of fed up with Logan. He's trying to keep Logan on the right path, remind him that, you can still do good and all that, all that superhero junk. But he's still dropping a few naughty words, I guess we'll say. So yeah, it's funny to hear Professor X talk like that, but at the same time, it's still Professor X. He still had these moments where he's trying to guide Logan and be kind of like the heart of everything, He's trying so hard. And it's just kind of tragic to see like this iconic character, the leader of the X-Men, just falling down and losing control of his powers, and it kind of hurts you a bit. A newcomer to the X-Men franchise comes in the form of Daphne Keene, who plays X-23, aka Laura. She is Logan's clone daughter that was created by some kind of laboratory to be a mutant weapon, a living bio weapon. And she gets and in the movie she is able to escape with some help and finds her way to Logan, who now has to help her on her journey, and in a way she helps him on his. I think she did a pretty good job. I mean, I've seen a ton of movies and I've seen a ton of child actors just, ooh, wow. And I know they're kids, but if you're gonna try to do a good movie and this kid's gonna be central, you gotta find that one kid that can pull it off, and I think she does, because she really pulls off that rage you would expect from the child of Wolverine. And later towards the film, she gets better and better, and you see more and more of the layers of this character and, what she cares about. And I think she was a welcome addition to this franchise. The villains of this movie are Pierce and Dr. Rice, played by Boyd Holbrook and Richard E. Grant. Both of them put in decent performances. They're both people that are involved in the Weapon X program. Dr. Rice is the son of the guy who did the original Weapon X program. He's continuing it on in his own way. And Pierce, he's just basically a mercenary they've hired. Not a lot to say about them. Both actors put in a good performance, got nothing really wrong there, but they're not really engaging villains, and usually that would bug the hell out of me, because in my comic book movies, I want a good villain, because the better the villain, the better the hero looks when they finally defeat them. But you know what? I kind of let it slide in this film because, well, one, they're not horrible villains, they're just not that interesting. But this movie is about Logan. It is about his relationship with Professor X and this new relationship he has to form with this daughter that he didn't know about, and honestly he doesn't want because he's afraid to get close to people because everybody he gets close to dies. And that's where the heart of the film is. This film, it has a lot going on in it. It's about family. It's about how painful life can be. It's about, you know, the journey that you go through in life. The action in this movie, though not central, is really solid, and probably the bloodiest we've ever seen in an X-Men film. I mean, because of the R rating that they put on this film, with thanks to Deadpool for showing that, yes, you can do that in a more iconic comic book film, Wolverine and Laura, they go to town on some of these mercenaries in this movie, just claws slashing and stabbing and blood and gore. And I mean, you see some serious wounds. I mean, and I don't think I've ever seen Wolverine stab so many people in the head in this film. He I think he stabbed like 8 people in the head over the course of the movie, maybe a little few more. I don't know, but yeah, it is a violent film. If you're taking your kids out to this film, please be aware that it is rated R, okay? So my final thoughts on the film are that the film gives me everything that I wanted, but it didn't give me that and more factor. Now, do I think that makes it a bad film? No, it's a really good film. Well acted, the pacing's good, the special effects are solid. I mean, the story is well written. The dialogue's good. I really don't have any real big problems with it. Any that I have are minor. But at the end of the day, I still kind of wanted that and more factor. But nonetheless, I would recommend you guys go out and see it. If not just for the fact that it's, you know, the last movie we'll be seeing Hugh Jackman in as Wolverine, unless they make a deal with Disney and they get him in the MCU. That would be awesome. But I digress. Yeah, Logan, solid film. I would recommend you go see it. It's a good movie. It's not a good action movie. It's not a good comic movie. It's a good movie, period. And I would recommend that you don't miss out on it. Well, anyway, guys, that's my review of Logan. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you're thinking down in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Leave me a like, and if you really enjoyed this video, please click that subscribe button. And until next time, I'd like to thank you for viewing things through my perspective.